Hey again, everybody. Welcome back to another tutorial. This is just kind of a short tutorial for one of our assignments to help you through it if you need some help for our online Web 1 class. And so we have learned how to just set up a skeleton web page, as you can see on here. This is kind of similar to what we've come up with and turned in for our very first HTML site, and then we did our little practice page with a few different elements. And so today we're going to show about how to use some various inline styles, multiple different ones for different sections of our web page. And some of you have been reading ahead into our text, and it's gotten more into how we'll actually be doing our style sheets, but as we're kind of breaking it down slowly, I just wanted to kind of take you through step by step with this, and then we'll move on to the style sheets in a later on tutorial. So this one here, for our example that we're doing, for the title, I'm just going to call this poetry site. Okay, and that's in the head section, and we'll keep the part right here is UTF-8. So that's what we have for there. And then down here for the body, what your assignment is having you do is you're going to a website called Public Domain Poetry, public-domain-poetry.com. And this is just a page of a whole bunch of poems that are public domain, so we don't have to worry about copyright infringements and all that kind of stuff with our web page. So you're choosing a web page, or you're choosing a poem of your choice from this site, and then we're putting it onto a web page. All right. So that's the site where we got that from. Or if you have a poem that you've made or something like that and you want to use it for your page, that's fine too. All right, so we're going to start up here with the body style. So up in here in our body tag, I want to put in here a space, and then I want to put in style is equal to, and then I'm putting in some quotation marks here. And what I want to do is I'm going to say color :blue semicolon. All right, and then I'm going background -color is pound ADD 8E6. All right, so when we're putting in these styles, we say what the style that we're trying to code is. So in this first case, it's the color of our text. And we're going to have it be blue, which is just a value that our HTML recognizes. And then after that, we put a semicolon, and then we can list another style. So in this case, background color of the page, and it's ADD 8E6, which is a light blue. I have two sets of quotation marks, so I need to get rid of one. Okay, so that's all in there. In case you're wondering, I just did a Google search here for hex code values, in case you're ever wondering, what colors to use. And there's all sorts of resources to this online, but you can choose a color, and then here it gives you this hex value right there for it, of all different types of colors. Or if you're looking for specific colors, you could say, what's the hex value for Nebraska Cornhuskers red? And you'd be able to find that hex value anywhere online. So you can be real specific with your colors, just like you graphic design majors out there may want to choose an exact color. That's where you would enter those in. And you can use your hex value for text color as well. I was just showing you a couple of ways we could put that in there. All right. So we entered in the styles here for color and background color for the body of the web page. All right, and then underneath that, I'm going to put in my H1. All right, and remember that's for our big titles, right? So I'm going to go ahead and close it right here with H1 as well. So we have H1, H1. All right, and then I want to go in here and I'm going to put in the name of this poem that I just chose. Everything Comes. All right, so we got that. And we're going to do something to the style for our H1s. Okay, so I'm going to say H1 space style equals. And in here I'm going to put in text align with a hyphen there followed by a colon and center and close my quotation marks. Alright, so H1 style text align center, and then I have the title, so that's going to center my text whereas it would have been left aligned before. And then in some slightly smaller text here, I'm going to put in a H2 and I'm going to go ahead and give that the same style. Alright, so style equals text align center. And with this one here, the author of this is by Thomas Hardy. Alright, and so real quick I'm going to save this. I'm going to run launch in Chrome just to see. And so far, here we have our title of the poem up here and who it's by underneath that. So that'll work pretty good. Alright, underneath that, I'm going to go paragraph. Paragraph, and I'm going to give this the exact same style. Alright, so I'm going to copy that. Style equals text align center. Alright, and in here I'm going to go ahead and start my poem. So the house is bleak and cold, and after this what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my break here. Alright, and then underneath that I can go built so new for me. And put in our break there. And I'm just going to copy this break command so I don't have to keep typing that every time I want a line break, right? Alright, and this is just how they had the poem from the web page spaced out, so I'm just trying to match it as close as possible. Yours may be in more like paragraph form or whatever, and it's kind of up to you. And actually, so what I'm going to do on this last one, I'm not going to put in a break. That's kind of the first section, so then I'm going to go ahead and close my tag here for my paragraph, okay? And so I got that. And again, it's not going to read multiple enters on my HTML. I'm just spacing it out like this so it's easier for me to keep track of later, you know? Alright, so then I'm going to go ahead and do this same thing from up here. Alright, I'm going to paste this line in. And this time I'm going to take out that text and type in the next line, planting trees. Alright, so we have this code on here. As a screen for you. Okay, so you're kind of getting the idea of how this goes in here. And peer view only wait till they have to go ahead and put in my break for this section, and I like to just click on this last one and make sure it highlights the one above it so I don't have anything going too crazy. I saved this one as index.html. For your assignment, you can call it that, or you can call it poem.html. Either way is fine for this assignment. All right. Okay, and then we can go ahead and copy this style one last time. This one just has like 3 short sections to it. So this is the third of the 3. All right, so then we can go here. And copy my break. And then just type in my last few lines. So pretty easy so far, right? Hopefully this is breaking it down pretty easy and making HTML not so overwhelming. It'll get more complex as we do this, and then you'll be able to see how these style sheets will make things easier for us when we get too many styles with this. So hopefully you'll kind of see where we're heading with this. Okay, so we have this part on here. And last line for the poem. She said. All right. And so after that, I'm going to put in the closing to the paragraph. And so these, ending these ones with the paragraph, that's going to go ahead and put the extra space in between each of those paragraphs. All right, so we got that on there. Underneath that, just to kind of use HR for our horizontal rule, and then underneath that I'm just going to put this last part, and I'm going to have it just normally in the left align, and I'm going to give this and emphasize our italics here. So I'm going to say page created by Brandon Peterson. Okay, now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use an entity code. And so if I put and copy semicolon, you'll notice it looks different than our text on there. And then I'm going to put in 2019, and then I'm going to close this here. All right, and then underneath that I have the closed body in the HTML. All right, so let's save this, double check and refresh my page, make sure we don't have too many mistakes here, and I don't really see any. So we got our web page here with our blue text, the light blue background, our horizontal rule, and then down here with our EM tag, that makes that italics, so it's different than up here. This is our H1, our H2 is a little bit smaller. And then you'll notice our and copy, it puts this little copyright logo on there, and that's an entity code. So there's all sorts of entity codes, just like there's all sorts of things you could put into your style sheets. And you can do Google searches for those, for ideas of ways that you can style your web pages. They're just a Google search away. Same with entity codes. I typed in on here entity code, and one of the sites here says character entity reference chart. And so you can kind of scroll through and see all the different things you have. So they have all sorts of different symbols and things like that that you can go ahead and put into your page. Some of them are a little bit more browser specific, like some will work better with Chrome, some are, may not show up on Apple computers. depending on the browser you're using and that kind of stuff. But all sorts of different codes that you can use for those. You can put little hearts and stuff like that. So maybe with your poem, maybe instead if there's a word heart in it, you're going to replace it with the entity code, just for a little creativity or whatever, or to put a entity code of a heart on both sides of your title or something like that. So you can do kind of anything you want with those. And again, those are just text that'll show up, or a character that'll show up with that code. Okay, so again, to just kind of wrap this up, you are just going to the webpage called publicdomainpoetry.com, finding a poem of your choice, and then you are making it fit the example that I posted into your part on the Blackboard post for the assignment. And this is one way that we could do that with multiple styles on our paragraph here. Okay, and then those were centering and that kind of stuff, text color, background color, all that. So again, if you have any questions, shoot me an email at any time, and we'll see how all these come in. So thanks for watching, and good luck on your assignment.